Of a short, concise presentation, of course. But interestingly, the difference is that Pecha Kucha was the first to limit the number of images and the number of seconds, as I'm sure you've become aware of that. And of course, the all-important auto forward, and there's no next slide, or let's go back. So without further ado, Team 4.
This is an empty bowl. It represents lack of food. Food Banks BC supplies food to several food banks across the province, and Tilt is our channel to end the problem of food shortage in these food banks. This is Johnny. Johnny is 12 years old. Johnny lives in BC. Johnny is hungry. Johnny might not go to bed with food in his stomach tonight. Johnny is one of many. 1 out of every 5 children in BC is hungry and is dependent on food banks. 1 out of every 5 children in BC. Staggering, isn't it? There's so many Johnnies around. How many of us know about that? 30,000 people, 30,000 children actually, staggering statistic, live dependent on food banks. How many Johnnies do we want to see dependent on food banks? How many children do we want to see go to bed hungry at night?
This is Cindy. I met her outside the food bank. I saw her creativity, so I spoke to her. You know what she said? She's waiting for her mom to get her some food. This is our future. She knows that love is forever, but will that be sufficient to feed her hunger? Look at the long line outside the food bank, and look at the empty boxes inside the food banks. Imagine if you get 3 days of meal and you have to survive for 2 weeks on that.
World Food Day. Has anyone here heard of World Food Day? A few people. Prior to doing research, I had not heard of it. It just passed. It was yesterday, October 16th. It's a day to eradicate global hunger. Their goal is to bring it to 0. No one is hungry.
Talking about food, we just had Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving? This was my family's Thanksgiving. There was fun, friends, enough food to go around, share with everyone. But that got me thinking, how many of us are as privileged or as lucky? What about those of us who aren't as privileged? What about those who had empty plates on their tables that night? What about Johnny? What about Cindy? What do you think they had for Thanksgiving that night? So we've talked enough about the problem. Isn't it time to do something about it? So we got to thinking, how do we raise money for food banks? So we said, let's start with BC. If we could raise the budget of food banks in BC by just 10%, we could raise enough money to ensure that 30,000 children don't go hungry anymore, that 30,000 children are fed and are happy.
Children facing hunger have increased healthcare problems. In fact, they have increased 50% of healthcare costs in comparison with the people who get their food every day. The beauty of the food is as medicine, which heal and can promote your help every time you get the food. Every single meal keeps you one step ahead from the hospital. How about the education? Who has the motivation and energy to study with a hungry stomach? A simple meal of breakfast can change their world drastically each day. They will be full of motivation, full of potential. 2 plus 2 equals to hamburger? Did I just say that? Oh, yes. Imagine how many great minds are wasted just thinking about the food when they could be thinking about any innovative ideas. Imagine how many Einsteins are we wasting to hunger.
$20. Microfunding, right? If you have $20 and you collect from 60,000 people, we'll have our goal of 1.2 million. Well, in BC, we have 4.6 million people. Will you be one of those 60,000 tilters? And we can collect money from anywhere in the world. That's my contribution. Our time frame, the holiday season. We want to have all 96 food banks signed up by this holiday season. We can't wait until Thanksgiving of next year. In fact, I don't even want to wait until next year. We got to do this by this holiday season. Is anyone here actually from Tilt? I wasn't too sure. Well, I'll be sending a personal email to the CEO, James Bashara, so that he knows about how important this issue is to us. This is a photo of the empty shelves at my local food bank. If we don't take action, it's going to stay like that. But if you choose this issue, and judges, the choice is in your hands. Do you believe in this issue as much as we do? Hopefully, I'd love to see shelves full of food this holiday season.
Imagine 30,000 children no longer hungry. Imagine just $20 of your contribution will grow to become $1.2 million. That will enable 96 food banks in BC to ensure they are fully stocked and that 30,000 children are no longer hungry. As Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in this world. This is the change we want to see. If Johnny isn't hungry, he could be a surgeon when he grows up. If Cindy isn't hungry, who knows, she could be the next Prime Minister of Canada. Just imagine.